Hello friends, once again welcome to my Zaltech channel. In my previous video we just done the database connections, and after that we just created these helper methods, and in this video we are going to learn how to add this main.dart method, a context to build an application from where we can insert and delete our operation. To do that we just require this, just remove this additional part so that you can see this as a good thing. As you can see, we are not going to change this stateful object or this kind of thing. We just going to change this. Inside this, we are going to change this body part where just column is also useful. Just remove this part. Just remove this additional part. Inside this children, we get just remove this text part. Now, let's add some widgets over here. And we connected our program over here. Let's just add some raised button over here. I want to create one raised button. Inside this raised button we are going to provide two values. First is a child to add a name, text. Inside this we are going to provide insert button. Whenever programmer press this insert button, we are going to call one method which is known as underscore insert. We are going to create this method down there. We are going to create this insert method. Let me just copy this and add it for 3 times. And let's just change this text from insert to read. And we are going to create underscore read method for that. After that we are going to update, and let's change this from underscore insert to underscore update, and at last we are going to delete some values and change this part to underscore delete. Now let's create these methods one by one inside this my helper page state class. Just click on this and you can see here insert method. This method please insert over here. Now to get a reference of this database helper SQLite database, you have to add one dependency inside this main.dart file. So you have to import. After that you have to provide your project name. As you can see, my project name is flutter underscore. As you can see, I have to provide here flutter underscore SQLite database / database helper. As you can see, this will be provided over here. Just press enter. Now we have our database reference over here, so we can use this class in our main.dart file down here. Now we are going to this underscore insert method. This is going to create values in database, so this is the continuous process, so we have to use this sync keyword ahead of it. To add a value, right now we are not getting any form or any text field area. We are just providing one default value using this map object, and we are going to provide this map object as a two values. First we are going to provide a string, and after that we are going to provide a dynamic, which is we provided in our earlier video. This map object, let's give a name as a row is equals to, inside that we are going to provide a 3 values which we want to store inside this helper. First of all we are going to provide database helper dot. Now we are going to provide a column name equals to, let me provide my name. My name is Nemish. In next for data we are going, sorry friends, it's not an equal to, for in Dart language it will be a column. Now we are going to provide one more value to this database helper dot column age, and my age is 19. Now we are completed with our map. To insert this in dot underscore insert data inside your your database helper, first of all here you have to create one value which is a final. Now you have to create DB helper instance of that database help underscore helper dot instance. As you can see, now we get the instance of this database from here, from this private constructor inside this main.dart file. Now we are going to use that db.helper over here to get a inserted value. So that here we are going to create one final ID. As I told you, in here in helper method, insert is going to return one integer value, that how much value will be inserted inside our database. ID equals to, now we have to pass this underscore insert values of this map row to this insert class of this database helper.SQFlite. To get this data to that class, you have to use this db helper which we have created over here. db helper dot, you have to use this insert, and inside that we are going to pass one row which is provided over here, and this will be a async method. So you have to use async, and this is async method which is provided over here. So we have to use await keyword to get it refer. Now as this value will be inserted, we are going to print that $id value inserted successfully, which will be inserted on the console so that we can debug our application. Now we just created one insert method like that. We just going to copy this from here, copy, and we are going to paste it to create this read method. Now we are going to create one update method. So just change this name from insert to update. Now let's change the updated value. As I previously inserted value name is, let's change this to my nickname. My nickname is friends Neil, and let's change this age from 90 to 20 for get a reference. Now if you want to insert the value, then you by providing, as you can see in update we also providing the row value. So just change it from insert to update. Now you can see this value will be updated inside this our database because of this method. This is going to transfer from here to here. Now we are going to change $id value. We are not going to provide this $id value here. We are going to provide $value updated successfully so that we can debug our application. After that we are going to read all the data. So we are going to use underscore read. As you can see, this will be resolved now, and now we are going to provide a sync because this how we don't know how much time required to process this thing. This is a small value. Now to underscore reader data, we do not have to pass anything. We just have to fire a query to get this result from this read method. As you can see, this is the list which is provided over here, so that if we fire some query over here, it will be give us a list. So we have to store it inside one list, and this list is going to take one value. Let's give us it's a final because it's not going to change, and let's give it a list equals to db helper dot, we want to read data. So we have to use this read method of this our class which will be created over here. Now it's going to give us full data from here. As you can see, this is the list. I told you in my Dart programming crash course, to iterate over this list you required one for each loop. You required for each loop. Inside this for each, it's going to give you one value. You have to use one anonymous function over here. I'm going to use it as a row, and we are going to pass it to print using this row. Now as you can see, we just created one list object on a for each method, and as you can see, this is giving error because it's providing an error that you can't iterate for each method be assigned through an instance. So you have to here provide an await keyword, so that as you can see, as we provided this await keyword over here, the for each loop will be iterated on a list. Why we require this await keyword over here? To translate for DB update read to this list. As we can see here, inside this read method, we returned a future object, and to transfer a future object to a respective list, we require this await keyword. Now it's going to print all the values for read operation. Let's just create our final operation, which is underscore delete, and this is also on sync process, so we are going to provide a sync. After that, to delete anything, we have to pass an ID to this field. Now in this delete method, we are going to provide, as you can see, one ID over here to delete data from our database. So first of all, we have to know how much IDs are available inside this data helper method, so that we can delete it. To get all the IDs, we have to get all the. Now let's go with our database helper.SQLite class and just add one more helper methods, which I already created. I just have to paste it over here. As you can see, I created one future object with query row count. That means it's going to provide how much data will I inserted inside this table. As you can see, select count star from table. Because of this star, it's not going to take a null value as a selection in this row query. And as you can see, I provided first int value. That means this is going to provide one integer value of SQFlite database, and it's going to return an object. Now we are going to use this row count as over here. To get the value of this row count, let's final id equals to await helper db helper dot. Now we are going to use that query count row count object, as I am defining or assuming that the row count is an last data of our database. As you can see, this row count is going to give a number of count of row, how much rows will be available in our database, and that value is, we are assuming, the last ID of our database. So we want to delete our last item from the database. To delete that data, you have to pass this ID by creating one db helper object. So we are going to perform db helper dot delete, and we are going to provide id as a value, and we are going to print on console that $id value is deleted successfully. Now as you can see here, we are completed with our CRUD operation inside this main.dart file. We are completed with buttons. As insert button will be completed, as insert pressed, we are going to create method or call method underscore insert method. After that, let's just add semicolon after this all methods, so that this error will be resolved. Now all error inside this main.dart is resolved, and as insert update read or buttons pressed, this method will be called, and using this method we are going to call this await method in db helper.update row and column, and this helper method will be fired. Now friends, we completed our updation, deletion and all the thing and our helper methods. Now just let's look and run it this part in our actual emulator. Friends, I just updated something in this code. You can also update it. As you can see, I added one more method, query row count. That means this is going to give you number of rows available inside your table, so that we can add ID to our database. So that as you can see inside this insert, I added one ID which is going to give a row count, and that row count we provided here in a ID, and we just changed because the final ID we also have to change this final ID 1. Now I changed this ID to this ID 1. We same did it for this update. As you can see I provided one ID, but as you can see I provided row count -1 because we want to update the last value of this database. Now you can see here I just consider this ID from ID 1, and I also added this thing inside this delete button, that dbhelper.query row count. Inside this row count I added -1 button, and as you can see $ID value is updated successfully means this ID value is deleted. Now let's just run it inside our emulator. As you can see our code is inserted or run successfully. Let's see this run button. As I'm going to insert value, as you can see 6 value inserted successfully. That means 6th value is inserted. Now let's add 7th value. As you can see 7th value is inserted successfully. How it's working? As you can see, as I am pressing this insert button, this insert method is called. Inside this insert method I provided total number of IDs. After that this ID will be provided in our row, and that will be passed to our insert method of this helper class. As you can see the insert method, I inserted it in a table. After that let's just read the value. As I read the value, as you can see here I provided 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ID values. Ahead of 2 values are null, and after that namish x90 will be there. Let's update the value. As I'm going to update the value, it's going to update the last value. As you can see the last value is ID number 6, which name is namish and age is 19. Let's just press this update button. As I press this update button, you can see here one value updated successfully, and let's just read it again. As you can see the previously 6 value is namish and age 19. Now but it's updated with this nil and 20, as you can see here. Now let's just use this delete operation. In delete operation, as you can see I just deleted the last value of our database, so that this method is going to delete just an last value of our database. Let's use this delete button. As you can see 6th value is deleted successfully. That means ID number 6 is deleted successfully, and let's just read it again. As you can see there is no value of ID 6, so that because of SQLite database you can use some database references and some real-time database to store your table data. Thank you friends, thank you for watching this whole SQLite series. If you understand how to use SQLite database and you want to know more about how to use storage using this SQLite database, then do subscribe to my channel. Or if you like my SQLite series, then do like my video. And if you understand that how to use this SQLite database, and if you want that to help your friends to get rid of the SQLite database in the Flutter document, then share this video to your friends. Thank you friends, thank you for watching this video.